بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the help of Allah, we have started to have a brief interpretation of Quran. We reached to chapter Qalam. This chapter is revealed in Mecca and it has 52 verses. Please listen to verse 1 to 3.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون وإن لك لأجرا غير ممنون.
Allah says, نون والقلم وما يسطرون ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون وإن لك لأجرا غير ممنون. Noon, I swear by the pen, and what is the angel write? By the grace of your Lord, you are not mad, and most surely you shall have a reward never to be cut off. Allah says, ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون وإن لك لأجرا غير ممنون. You have the reward which is not mamnoon. What is mamnoon? Mamnoon either is from man, it means will not be cut off. It means Allah's blessings, Allah's reward will continue and will not stop at all. Or we can say mamnoon is from minna. It means Allah will give the reward without reminding. What does it mean, reminding? For us, sometimes when we help a person, for example, give some money as a loan, after some time we remind him that, okay, we helped you in such a way. We gave you money. We gave you a loan. We gave you a car for some time. It is reproach. It is a minna, which is not good to do that. Although, if Allah will do minna, it means reminds us there is a good reason behind that. When Allah reminds, Allah wants to help us to be thankful people. So, if we say غير ممنون, it means Allah also does not remind in a negative way, only to say that I have given to you. No, Allah will do it definitely, but He wants us to be thankful people. So the first meaning is much better, and غير ممنون, it means Allah's reward will not cut off. Allah is swearing by qalam, pen. When we think about the pen, pen has a very, very important role in our life. The pen's role is more important than gun, for example, the airplane, the bomb. Sometimes one person writes a letter or some sentence that it will change one nation. The effects of the pen is much more important, much more than money, children, fame. What is the reason behind that? If we think properly, the pen is something that will take the experience from others and shows to the people. It means transfer the experience from one nation and give to another nation. We don't know what happened to the people that they were 1,000 years ago. Only the pen is the one who transfers, and we get the knowledge about them through that. So the pen is something which is improving the culture. If we know the pens and the effects of that, we will see that sometimes it helps a nation which is sleeping very deeply will wake up by some sentences to explain to them who you are and what is going to happen to you, who is controlling you and how he is controlling you. He shows the people how they are deceived by their rebels and they will wake up. This is the effect of pen. Sometimes one nation will be humiliated by a pen or will be honored by a pen. By a pen will deceive the people to follow the kings, the rebels, to follow the idols, to worship them. And by this way they will be humiliated by pen. And sometimes to teach them the way of living and the way of worshiping Allah, and they will be honored. So if we think about the pen, we will see is a very important documents will be done by pen. The document or certificate of the nation. Good nation or bad nation today will understand through the books that have been kept for us and today we have among ourselves. So the pen, we can say, is a very important reporter that will take the information and transfer to other nations. So there is a good reason that Allah swears to the pen. The pen is a good sign of a civilization, sign of a culture. Through the pen, we understand that the nations which was living for a long time ago, they were civilized or not. If we think properly, through the books, we will understand that one of the voices that has a lot of value for us is the voice of pen. When it is moving on the paper, because by that will help a nation to wake up and understand the truth. There is a narration which says, قَيِّدُ الْإِلْمَ بِالْكِتَابَةِ. If you want to keep and protect the knowledge, write it down. So the pen is the one who keeps and protects the knowledge. Otherwise, the knowledge will be destroyed. Imagine one person who was living for 80 years, 90 years, and he has studied a lot, and he has a lot of knowledge. If he doesn't bring it on the paper by pen, when he dies, everything is going to finish. Even his children cannot get his knowledge. So the pen has such a role that will protect and keep the knowledge and transfer to other people. This narration is in Bahar al-Anwar, volume 2, page 52. But it is very interesting to know and pay attention to that a person like Prophet who did not write, even one line is his life, he swears to the pen. Prophet could not write and could not read. And it is a miracle. Maybe a person says, okay, this is not an honor that the Muslims repeat all the time, that our Prophet could not read and write, as we say. What is the reason behind that? When a person has no knowledge of writing or reading, usually his children, his followers try to hide it. Not to mention it, we mention, and it is an honor for us. Why? Because after that, such a person who didn't go to a school even one day and could not read and write, such a person brought a holy book and challenged all the educated scholars to say, if you think that this is not from Allah, bring one chapter like that. Bring one verse like that. It means you know me that I didn't go to a school. Even now I cannot read and write. I brought some chapters, some verses that none of you is able to bring one chapter, a small chapter like that, or even one verse like that. When we look at Quran, Allah says, "Ma anta bi ni'mati rabbika bi majnoon." The messenger, by the help of Allah, by the grace of Allah, you are not mad. In chapter Zariyat, verse 52, we will see that Allah says, كَذَلِكَ مَا أَتَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا قَالُوا سَاحِرٌ أَوْ مَجْنُونٌ. In this verse, Allah says that the disbelievers accused the Prophet and they said that he is a mad, he is a crazy. And Allah says, you are not, by Allah's grace, you are not crazy, you are not mad. But Allah wants to help the Prophet emotionally that this is not only about you. Any messengers that we have sent, it was the same. No messenger came to the disbelievers before them, but they said he is either a magician or a madman. So it is not only you, Prophet. Don't be upset. Don't think that you have done something wrong or you did not do your job perfectly. You have done a wonderful job. This is the people's problems, disbelievers' problem that they accuse as they have done before. Then Allah is talking about ni'mat rabbika, Allah's favor. Because of Allah's favor, you are not mad. Then Allah says, وَإِنَّ لَكَ لَأَجْرًا غَيْرَ مَمْنُونَ. Surely you have a reward that will not be cut off. We should remember, we should keep it in our mind that Allah's reward is so great. If Allah wants to help a person, since He has ability to do anything He wants from one side, and from the other side, really we are needy people. We have nothing. So Allah can help us a lot. In different verses, when Allah is talking about His reward, He says, my reward is so big. In chapter Hud, verse 11, Allah says, Ajrun Kabir. In Al Imran, verse 173, Allah says, Ajrun Azim. It means great reward. In Yasin, verse 11, Allah says, Ajrun Kareem. So Kareem, غير ممنون, generous. It means Allah's reward is generous. Allah's reward is so great, so big. And also أجر غير ممنون, لأجرا غير ممنون. It means will not be cut off. In chapter Fussilat, verse 8, or أجرا حسنا in chapter Qalam, verse 4, or أجره على الله. Allah is the one who gives reward in chapter Nisa, verse 10. There are a few messages that we can get from this verse. One, it is good to pay attention that when Allah swears to pen, and He doesn't swear to speech, because He wants the people to get knowledge, to write something, and anything they have, they type it by writing down, as we read a narration that says قَيَّدُ الْإِلْمَ بِالْكِتَابَةِ, tied the knowledge by writing. So one of the very important jobs for the Prophet was to fight with ignorance. How? To encourage them to write something, to learn something. Then, because of that, he swore to Qalam. Noon wal qalami wa ma yasturun. Noon, I swear by the pen and what the angels write. Ma anta bi ni'mati rabbika bimajnoon. Allah says, by the grace of your Lord, you are not mad. Allah is defending His Prophet and says that if you are infallible, if you are a great person, and definitely you are not mad, it is because of Allah's grace. From the beginning, since you were a child, Allah has paid special attention to you and took care of you. Maybe we think, okay, so there is nothing special for the Prophet because Allah took care of him. Yes, Allah took care of the Prophet because Allah knew that he is the best person among all the people, and from the beginning he helped him. Like a teacher who is coming to the class, and from the first day, because he knows the result of the previous years, he knows one of the students is the best and is so clever, and from the beginning he pays a lot of attention to that. So he pays a lot of attention because he is a special person. وَإِنَّ لَكَ لَأَجْرًا غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ. Allah pays special attention and says the reward will not be cut off. So don't worry if they accuse you. وَإِنَّ لَكَ لَأَجْرًا غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ. You should know that you have a lot of rewards, although the people ignore the rewards, but you should know that I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to reward you, and I'm going to give you constantly. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.